Man, thanks to our fans and the band and everyone that weathered the conditions to come out and support our players today, and appreciate that very much, and know that was it's kind of my first spring game to have those type conditions, and certainly appreciate you guys being here to cover it also. So I think we got through it without anybody being injured also, which is always a plus. And I thought it was a solid day, and some good things and some not so good things, of course. But overall, I think our first spring, the 15 days that our kids gave us, it was a great energy and effort. And I think we took the right step toward building some foundational things that we're going to have to lean on in order to compete next year in this league. So I'm pleased, like our staff, and I think there's a lot of good that we can take from the 15 days.
So it ended in a tie. Does everyone get steaks?
Yep, and everybody, Miss Danielle can feed them all whatever she had planned, and so I told them our first trip into Jordan-Hare, and both sides are undefeated. So I like the way it ended. I did give the option to the coordinators on the headsets that, look, we can because our 1s, 2s, and 3s got the same amount of possessions. I said, y'all want to go 1s right here from the 3-yard line for the win or loss, one play, and they were quiet for a long time on that. They didn't give me an answer for a while, and I said, "Are you going to answer?" And they said, "Let's leave it a tie." So happy with the way it ended. And really, it's good to see him kick that thing through under those conditions. It was really, really soggy and wet, and the snap was really slow, and it was good that we got some of that experience.
Do we get the leftover hot dogs?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what she had planned for them. So you can have, we'll find you a hot dog, Brian.
Coach, the quarterback position, Robbie looked like this was the atmosphere that he could really capitalize in. You talk about competing in this league. Do you feel good at that quarterback spot with what you have on the field?
I feel better than I did 15 practices ago. I still think I really think from this point now until the end of fall camp, there's so much that needs to happen for somebody to solidify being the guy. And I think all have improved. I think all are still inconsistent with some things. We really had every man, we were really wanting to throw that ball around today. And it just, it would have been really ugly and probably a lot of 3 and outs had we tried to do that. And I think Robbie got better, and he's really been fun to coach. And I think he's trying to change some of the things that may have caused at least me concern about him being the quarterback leader, whether it be body language or ball security or your demeanor in general, the way you talk to your teammates. And I don't know that anybody's ever really challenged him like I did this spring with that. And I thought all 3 of them responded to our challenges and just were like, "Coach, just please coach me." And so I think you saw today, he's got the capability of making some plays, and thought he threw a really good seam ball in those conditions. Can't remember if we threw it anymore with him, but I thought Holden threw some good balls and he missed a couple of reads on some RPOs, I think, and TJ did too. But it's kind of been that way all spring. Some really positives one day, and then some inconsistencies the next day, and we still got some time to help them improve, hopefully.
Coach, what did you guys get better at the most during the spring, and what would you like to get better at preseason before you play a game?
Well, I think, from today, I think you'd say overall, I think we're running the ball fairly well and getting the dirty yards from our backs. Our quarterback's helping in the run game, so I'd have to say, I think we improved that O-line some, and they look pretty decent today. And I think after today, what's on my mind is we got to stop the run. You can't win in this league if you can't stop the run, and we didn't stop it very well today on some drives. So I would say that's the 2 things that are on my mind, both good and bad right now.
You
talking about the running backs, pretty much everybody who touched the ball for y'all had an explosive run all the way down to the ball. What does that say about that room to have that kind of depth that everybody can have a play like that?
Yeah, I've kind of said the last few weeks that I thought two of the rooms that I felt like we were pretty solid in was the tight end room and the running back room, and I think that kind of showed today. And both of those rooms are pretty solid. And Damari Alston, I didn't give enough credit to, coming into this job, but he's had one heck of a spring for us.
Coach, you really aimed to temper expectations about what fans would see today earlier in the week, but you had a lot of high-profile recruits here. What do you hope they gain from what you guys put on display today?
We had a ton of great recruits here last night and this morning, today, and obviously you would love for it to have been a prettier day where everyone would have enjoyed it more, and I think we'd have had a bigger crowd and all of that. But ultimately, they've been with us all morning as we prepped, and they get a feel for who Auburn is as a football program and university, and they wouldn't be here if we haven't done a decent job of recruiting them to this point. So I think it speaks that we're in it, and we just got to keep building those relationships and hopefully land some key guys.
Hugh, on a day like this, once you know what the weather's going to be like, you have an idea, how much does that change how you go about things, and do you still feel you got what you wanted out of this? Despite having
Well, I mean, it obviously changed, but we might have a game or two next year where it's that way, and so we can lean back on this experience. But like I said earlier, we kind of we'd met offensively yesterday, and really said, man, let's see who can throw this thing and who can catch it and who can get open, and so that was really the only change. Is that probably wasn't the most feasible thing to do today.
Coach, with the kicking game and the elements, how much can you draw from that, from the snap, the hold, the kick? How beneficial is it if you're going to get anything out of today when the elements are like that?
I'd go back to before the scrimmage started, our punter was dynamite. Man, we need to bottle that and carry that over. Some of those punts he hit were incredible, and then moving to for your snapper, holder, and kicker to have to operate in these conditions, I think that's invaluable for their experience. And it's not the same timing. The snap's not. It's waterlogged snapped, it looks like, and the holder's got to hang in there and get it on the ground quick, and the kicker's got to change his timing a little bit. And we handled all that really well, except we missed one, but I thought the operation was good, and obviously there with the game on the line, to step in there and all three of them get it done, I think is really good for the experience that they could use.
Joe?
You over here. I guess this is the nature of things these days, but is your quarterback room set, or might you bring in another player through the portal?
Yeah, I think the transfer portal opens soon, and we are open to any position that would help us improve our team as long as they fit within the culture, and that includes the quarterback room. I don't, I know people make a big deal out of that, but the bottom line is you're constantly, I think competition is helpful, and those that handle it right, and those that don't, they're probably not going to be the winners for you anyway. And so, we're open. Do I think we can win some games with what we have? Yes, I do. But I don't want to ever be put in a box where I say something and then I do the opposite. So I don't know the answer. I don't know if we are. I know that I would be open to it.
In this modern game, what do you need out of a quarterback in the SEC to win the league?
Well, I think you got to have somebody that can make the throws in tight coverage, and you got to have receivers that can get open in them too. And I think we're looking for some of that and consistency in both spots. There's going to be some games you just can't. They're going to stop the run, and you're going to have to make some throws to win the game. And we're not proven in the room that we have that any of those have done that. I'm not saying they can't, and I'm certainly not down on them. I think we can win games with these guys. But should a guy that come available that is a dynamic guy that we think is already a proven commodity at doing that, I think we would have to at least look at that.
Coach, offensive line play, you know, obviously with having some new faces and having to get them to mesh in the spring. Give your overall assessment. They look like they played pretty well, especially the way you ran the football today. Wanted to go ahead and see get your take on how they're meshing and overall what you felt like how they played today.
I'm cautiously optimistic that that we're going to have a decent offensive line. And you know, in this league, you can have a decent one in it and still look bad at times because the defensive lines are so talented. But there's no question in my mind we've made improvements from last year to this year, and I thought today was just another step forward in that.
Coach, you mentioned the culture. You also mentioned a lot of these players coming to you saying, just coach me. Where are we as far as you establishing your identity and the identity of this program?
We're closer. I mean, the 4 weeks we got to spend together, or 5 weeks we got to spend together, and me addressing the team every Monday and Friday on some themes and some things I think are important that we get on the same page with. I don't know that it's a realistic expectation that you ever get a full team totally bought in. I think that's the same way in families, churches, businesses. I don't know, but I think if you can get a team that is close to 80% or so, the other 20% become insignificant with their voices, and you know, I think we're starting to see some good buy-in.
We're going to finish up over here.
What type of spring did you think that Keldrick Polk had, just being a young guy and seeing him in there today with the defense? I don't know if you were paying too much attention to him, but what did you think about him?
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell a lot until I watch the film, but I love Keldrick. I love his attitude. I love the way he comes to work. I mean, he should still be in high school, and he and Connor Lew and Can Lee really stood out as three freshmen that we think in the 23 class we'll look back on and say, man, we got us three really good ones. And number one, he's a great human being. And, you know, he doesn't know anything yet about the college game and all of that. He's raw in some ways, but he's very, very talented, and loved the way he went about his business the whole spring.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you
Yep.
very much.